wanted to create a small video to talk about a business in a box with you all, because we launched it on May the 26th, and since then it has been slightly chaotic as we've been onboarding our amazing business fairies. We've been watching websites going live, Facebook pages going live, we've been watching sales coming in, commissions being made, and everything has been happening really, really quickly. Which also means that there's been, different changes, different things that we can share about a business in a box. And if you're watching from the sidelines to see how it's all going, I wanted to particularly address you and, give you an update in terms of kind of what a business in a box is and what it actually means for you. So quite a few months ago, I think it's about March time, I created a post on Facebook to talk about an opportunity for mums at home to create an income around their families. So I went back to work when Alice was 4.5 months old, and I was, very lucky because I had a corporate career, and my journey has taken me along over the past few years to actually be able to be at home and build Just for Tiny People. And as a result of that, it's also meant that I am really fortunate that I'm able to pick Alice up from school and take her to school, and that I can actually, essentially run my company around my little girl. So I thought it would be an amazing thing if I could take a piece of JFTP and be able to offer to you all just a small percentage of what you have been able to give me in terms of support over the last 4 years. So this is where a business in a box developed from. And I'm really, really excited about this opportunity because the response to a business in a box was overwhelming, to be very honest. And it showed me very, very early on that there was a great need for an opportunity like this. Now, I do want to say from the outset that it isn't a multi-level marketing, it isn't pyramid selling or anything like that, because that's actually illegal. It really is an opportunity for you to have your own small business and selling JFTP products. Now, when we started thinking about this opportunity, I knew from the outset that I needed somebody to work with in order to roll this out, because whilst this is my business and I'm very passionate about the products, there is an area in terms of training, and not just training to sell JFTP products, but training you to run your own business. So things like developing your confidence, how to be able to run your business around your families, different, the whole journey around the sales train, how customers behave on that sales train. So there's a whole load of information that sits around this opportunity that's kind of intangible that I also wanted to talk about. And the amazing Claire Mitchell from the Girls Mean Business is working with me. She partners with me to be able to deliver that side of this opportunity. And I'm not sure if you guys already know, but Claire has a book, an SOS book, which we also provide to all of our business fairies. And she's had a really huge personal achievement recently, because that's actually #1 in the Amazon book marketplace for home businesses. So, we really have tried to bring together all of our expertise in order to be able to help mothers, ladies, women at home, or who have full-time roles that are looking for something in addition to that to be able to create your own businesses. So what is a business in a box? Well, if we were to look at it physically, the cost of it is £495. And whilst I know that that's an awful lot of money, I'll explain why it's £495. So yes, part of this excitement has been that we actually do give all of our business fairies their own magical wand to be able to kind of symbolises getting your own wings as a business fairy, and also your journey, the start of your journey in building your own business. We also provide a magical box, which I call a magical box, and inside it there's lots of things. So there's mini samples from tiny teepees to little wands to small plumpy cushion. There's information cards. There's 26 different information cards that are all handbag ready. So if ever you're in the school playground and you're talking about your business and you just need to jog your memory in terms of anything to do with the products, or you wanted to show your potential customers anything, then you can pull those cards out. There's stationery, lots and lots and lots of stationery, from accounts books to order books to social media planners. There's Claire's book in there as well. And I'm just trying to think, there's so many things, and all I've got in my head is visions of us when we're all packing the boxes for everybody. But what I do know is that the 78s that we have delivered so far, every single one of our business fairies have been really, really happy with their business in a box. Now, they're the tangible things, so the things that you can pick up and feel. And it's very easy to kind of say, well, for £495, is that what I get? And the answer is no, because there's also a load of intangible things that we also deliver as well. So number one is we give you your own website, which is branded JFTP and developed by us. It's maintained by us. And then we hand that over to the business fairies to actually choose the products that they would like on their website. If you want all of them, that's fine. If you only want to focus on a particular area, like the fairy world, for example, then you can do that. And the idea behind that is that this is your business. So whilst we can actually take it so far, then we hand it over to you guys to actually be able to choose the products that you would like to display to your customers. What happens is that we then handle the ordering for you. So when a customer places the order, that order comes through to JFTP, and our fulfillment team will pick that order and then deliver it to you. Deliver to your customer, sorry. And we also make sure that the tracking information goes to your customer as well once it's been dispatched. And then once that item has been dispatched, after 15 days, we then release, the commission is then released. And you can see the commission that you get through a system that we've put in place as part of this as well. So that you can see, if somebody has bought something, if you've earned some commission, and when you can request to actually draw that down. And I think that's really important because we wanted to make sure everything was as transparent and as easy for you guys as possible. As well as the website, we obviously give you your Facebook pages as well. We've just also rolling out our social media policy, so you'll be able to use other social media platforms as well to support your business and reach your customers. We give you your own email address. There's the use of our customer care team. There's the use of our fulfillment centre, as I've just mentioned. And I suppose the other big piece to all of this is the training, because the training is quite significant. So we're unlike traditional MLM, we're not focusing basically on giving you the skills just to sell a JFTP product, because actually a JFTP product can normally sell itself, and that's normally sold through kind of the response that you get when a customer sees that product, and the love and the excitement and everything else that's felt. And that's driven from the way that we create those products and we develop them, and just the way that we kind of try and match all of our products to what the brand symbolises. But also there's this whole piece around about kind of confidence, how you run your business, things to be aware of. And Claire Dutt has got an amazing business that she has run for 4 years, training women in business. She runs strategy days and things like that. She also has, external courses that she runs as well. And actually the whole ethos of the Girls Mean Business works incredibly well with JFTP. And it has been an absolute pleasure to see the business fairies just absolutely embrace Claire and embrace her training and embrace actually the teachings. So when they're talking about sales, etc., the girls are referring to the sales train that Claire often talks about. There's some great pointers in Claire's book, for example, and this isn't a PR thing for Claire. I just really want to express that this partnership means that this entire opportunity is very rounded, and that there is a load of intangible stuff that we have in the background that we can offer you as business fairies. So it's really very exciting. And then obviously we have our groups. So we have the Just for Tiny People group, which people can join and then ask questions about Business in a Box if you'd like to. If you want to ask the business fairies questions, they are happy. They're answering them very honestly. And they're there to kind of also be able to give you a view on it. And then once you do join a Business in a Box, then we do have another group, which is the Just for Tiny People Business in a Box group. And that's basically our fairies all in one place. This morning we had some amazing posts. I woke up this morning to a wonderful post by one of our business fairies saying that how she's taken over Costa Coffee on the 6th of August, and to use it as her launch space, and Costa have agreed for her to do that. We've got other business fairies that are launching, different events in different parts of the country and doing some really exciting things in terms of competitions and, things that they're using to actually attract customers to their stands. One of our business fairies did have an event this weekend, and she didn't have an awful lot of stock. So it's not about kind of needing to spend loads more money to invest in stock, but she went to the event with the products that she had, because she was also a JFTP customer, so she had some other items. And it really was, just a couple of TPs, and she had her samples, and through that she was able to build her newsletter list, so she can now target her customers with newsletters, which is something we also train on. And she used that time to engage and create brand awareness for her business. So there's been so much going on. And then of course there's a lovely business fairy who was on this morning, who I just did a video for before I launched into this video, because she's off to the council to try and get a grant for her business. So we will support as much as we possibly can, and we'll develop training, open days at JFTP, whether that's training you how to set up a stand, how to best display the products. All of this stuff goes on in the background, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that you're a success. And it's particularly exciting for me because actually in the so this launched on May the 26th, and we onboarded our first fairies in June, and then our trial fairies, that was, and then we onboarded the 68 further fairies on July the 1st. And then we have another group of fairies that are onboarding from August the 1st. And we're deliberately staggering the onboarding to make sure that everybody has all of the information they need, that they understand what's needed to be done, that they have the right support, so that we're not overwhelming everybody. Because I know saturation is also another common question about saturation, and I know quite a few people have decided to bow out because they think that this opportunity will be saturated. But firstly, it's very, very new. And whilst it's not exclusive, it is exclusively yours. So that means that this is your business, and your network, your local network, is going to be very different from your neighbours or your friends at schools, because you're going to go to different clubs, you're going to have different friendships, you're going to have different members of family based around the country. And if we only restricted you to sell to your postcode, you would be very, very unhappy with us. Now, it's really, really interesting because actually, and I'm just going to read off this because I really want to make sure that I'm very clear about this. But basically, we to deal with the whole saturation question, which is really, really important, what we did was we looked at some statistics, because I think statistics can actually give us a really lovely rounded view of where we live and what we do. And whilst I recognise that absolutely some people live in very small communities or very small, smaller areas of the country, what we did was we took actually Mole Valley, because Mole Valley is near JFTP, and we had a look at the population, and it was really interesting, the numbers, because I was surprised at this. And you're all welcome to go onto the government site and have a look at the I think it's the National Statistics database, to actually also have a look at this for yourselves. And I'm just going to read it, hence the reason my head is turning. But basically, within Mole Valley, so this was for 2015, there are 86,000 people, which include men and women of all ages. And the total number of children aged between 0 and 12, so our perfect customers that our products are aimed for, within Mole Valley is 12,653. Now, if you were to sell to 1% of those 12,653 ATP, so that's 126, and if we took the commission on average, you would generate around £4,000 in commission. So and that's just TP. That's not talking about accessories. That's not talking about kind of all of the other types of soft furnishing-y type things that we're doing. That's not including the new product ranges that we're going to be launching in the next few months and early next year. So your potential is huge. And I think rather than thinking, well, because there's lots of other representatives for other companies in your area, this is slightly different. And it same applies to me as a company. I'm competing for a lot of space for online business because I'm physically do not have a presence anywhere around the UK, and I compete against other companies that sell products similar to ours, and people buy from people buy from a brand that they trust, and people will buy the products that they love. And whilst I appreciate that the price tag is slightly higher, I love the ethos of my company. I'm never going to apologise for the price tag of our products because they're created by our sewing fairies, all based in the UK. And that's a wonderful thing about JFTP, is that becoming a business fairy, you actually also become part of an amazing team. So it's very inclusive with our business fairies and our sewing fairies, and everyone's getting to know each other. And I think the appreciation of their hard work, that these ladies are at home working also around their children and sewing items for us. So it's something I'm really passionate about, and I just wanted to create this video to explain a business in a box and to explain what it is you get for your money. So the tangible, the physical box, and the intangible, so all of the support and all of the assets you get around it. And that this isn't just about training you to sell our products, it's about helping you be the best you can be and to develop your own small business. In terms of onboarding, as I've already said and just chatted very quickly about the saturation piece, and I will eventually do a separate video about that. But basically at the moment we're onboarding from August the 1st, so anybody who joins now, the cut-off date for that is July the 17th. And then once we onboard and everyone is onboarded from August the 1st, anybody who joins after July the 17th will onboard from August the 15th onwards. In other words, we'll aim to have everything with you within 2 weeks of you purchasing a business in a box. Again, I know that the £495 price tag isn't accessible for everybody, so we've put it also on payment plan for you to pay, you know, as well within 3 instalments to suit you. And then obviously once that payment reaches us, then we will release a business in a box to you as well. And I would encourage you as well to join our group, the Just for Tiny People Secret group, and ask questions, because the business fairies really are very happy. So you're not hearing it from me, and I definitely don't want to come across biased. And it's really important, I think, you get a really honest view, because Claire and I are very, very big believers in that you must do what's right for you. And this opportunity, you know, it must be right for you in terms of the support you have around you, because it is your own small business and it is hard work. You know, don't go into this lightly, thinking that you're going to make you know, millions of pounds in commission within week 1, because that's very unrealistic. But sales will come through the hard work, and we've already seen it happen very quickly. So the girls launched their websites, a few of our fairies, and they were recognising sales within 2 days of launch. And that's not to mismanage expectations, because obviously there's still ladies that launched, you know, at the beginning of July and are yet still to recognise a sale. But what they have been doing is engaging with their customers and building their newsletter base and getting lots of inquiries, which will eventually lead to their sales. And it's just all about establishing your presence. So really that's it from me. As always, if you've got any questions, please let us know. But thank you so much for watching this. I know it's 16 minutes, so I hope you've enjoyed your cup of tea and your biscuit. And yeah, as always, you know, I wish you all the best with whatever you decide to do. And I, you know, if you've got any questions about a business in a box, then please let us know. All right, thank you. Take care. Bye bye.